porn, I think it's dangerous. That's why I hated the Apple Vision Pro.
And the people that can't afford it, they're like, why would I don't have time to walk around with this shit on my face.
No one should be walking around with that. It's ridiculous, and even using it at home. But if someone does have it on, I'm just gonna assume they're watching porn. They're saying it's highly addictive, man. VR porn is ruining relationships. Now, we talked about, the first VR porn brothel opening up in Berlin, Germany a few months ago. But now, people could use it like right in their homes as long as you have a VR headset and some lube.
Jeez, man.
Oh my God, man. But experts are saying, man, it's having a real impact on humanity. They're saying a new breed of interactive porn has emerged that is ruining relationships everywhere.
Yeah.
Experts are warning about this, man, VR porn.
Yeah, they said that it's becoming more common. And while there's always been an element of addiction to porn, it's nothing like what we're seeing with this modern variation. The addiction is next level. Research suggests that compulsive use of VR porn sits at 20% of users.
Damn.
More than double the rate of addiction to regular 2D porn. That's kind of crazy.
That is crazy. It's not super surprising either. We talk about how younger people aren't really getting out there and dating, and we talk about porn's impact and also technology's impact on humanity and society in recent years. And I feel like this is just the apex of all of those things. We were locked down for a whole year during COVID. All this technology was made to keep us home. And I feel like a lot of people who just aren't out there being sexually active, or even people in relationships who they reference in this article, they'd rather just put on a helmet and be in a make-believe world.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, listen, Candace Owens, who usually I don't agree with, she recently said something about porn. She was like, I really feel like porn should be banned because it's psychologically, destroying the men. It's really weakening men in society. And it is something that's really prevalent right now.
Do you agree with her at this point? Is that why you say you usually don't agree with her?
Not banning porn, but I do think we have a problem with sexuality right now. It's just everywhere. Anywhere you go on social media, Instagram, there's ass and titties everywhere. You go on Twitter. They specifically put out a statement now that they support having porn on their social media.
Okay.
On Twitter. Whereas, obviously Facebook, Instagram, they pretty much ban actual porn, but they're able to, have sexualized content, links to OnlyFans, all this kind of stuff. So I do think we have a problem where it's just becoming rampant right now.
Wow, I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll be honest. I like beautiful women and sexualize things as much as anybody, but when it's just overwhelming, your senses are being flooded with this all the time, whether you go on your phone, whether you go outside, it's just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. And when you talk about VR porn, it's definitely next level. They're saying the constant contact with pornography causes issues in relationship and also in relationships, and often leads to decreased intimacy and connection between couples. So it's getting in, between people's actual human relationships and romantic relationships. They're saying, because virtual reality is designed in a way to meet all the senses and fulfill all fantasies. The user can fall into sensory overload, and regular intimacy with a person can seem dull by comparison. This can lead to someone watching more violent, aggressive, or somewhat, some may describe as bizarre fetish VR porn in order to get the dopamine feel-good effect they're looking for. We talked about this when we talked about the VR brothel. You were like, oh, well, maybe people can do some kind of things that they wouldn't be able to do in real life. But when you have the VR headset at home and you're trying to get away from your wife, who knows what these people are up to? Do you think that this has a long-term effect in the future if we don't, I guess, try to ban porn? I wasn't even trying to think about that, banning porn, but who knows? I mean, they're trying to ban TikTok.
I don't think they're going to ban porn. I mean, what, Utah banned porn last year or something like that, if I remember right.
I think so. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they banned porn. But I don't think we'll get to that point. But I do think there could be some like other limitations to try to create a bottleneck so it's not just as widespread.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. From a relationship standpoint, I would have to assume that like if you're addicted to VR porn, then you're not going to be able to like maintain some of the physical aspects of your relationship in the same level. Like I would have to assume.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. People have different, standards, and maybe people don't see each other as much. But it is saying it's coming in between intimacy in relationships. I mean, the movie Don John. I always think about that because I love Scarlett Johansson's Jersey accent. It's terrible. It's terrible. But, it kind of relates to this. I mean, not with the VR aspect, but porn addiction.
Yeah.
And I think it is a real thing. When it comes to VR porn, I think it's dangerous. That's why I hated the Apple Vision Pro. And I haven't heard much about that shit since it dropped.
No.
I feel like
it was an initial
died out.
fad, and it's just not in a price point for the vast majority of people.
And
the
no
people
real
that
use
can't
cases.
afford it, they're like, I don't have time to walk around with this shit on my face.
No one should be walking around with that. It's ridiculous, and even using it at home. But if someone does have it on, I'm just gonna assume they're watching porn. But I don't know. I feel like this is only gonna get worse as technology evolves and people lose connection with each other. But hey, I try to be smart and not overstimulate myself with virtual things because the real thing is so much better. But I know it's not available to everybody all the time. But it's worth it. Find someone you actually have a connection with and actually want to have sex with. The internet, it could be cool in moments, okay, but don't rely on it to keep you happy and keep you trapped in the house. I think discipline is really important, but I don't think the law should step in and be like, oh, this is banned. I don't like that, personally.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to take over more stuff. I mean, this ultra Christian movement is definitely riding the Trump MAGA wave.
Yeah.
They definitely are. So
the Taliban, the Christian Taliban, trying to enforce their crazy ideologies on America.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. I feel like I just saw something about they're trying to legalize castration for people that sexually assault, sexual assault violators or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I did see that they're trying to enforce the death penalty on anyone who has gotten an abortion or something in Texas. I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't want to report on it unless I have evidence, but I hear some wacky things too. But hey, as technology evolves, people are gonna find ways to be horny.
Yeah, Louisiana lawmakers approved surgical castration option for those guilty of sex crimes against kids.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think the court still has to approve it or something like that, but the state legislature has passed a bill giving the judges the option to sentence someone.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not into any of these things. But hey. They say having sex does have an effect on your body. They're saying this
that clarity afterwards, that shit hits.
Clarity.
After all that blood rushes back up to your brain and all your senses come back.
Yeah, you are a different person. You're like, maybe you should go home. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
All the apps. We're everywhere. We are everywhere.